And when you talk about maintaining success, it all depends on what? Your level of maturity, your level of understanding, your hard work, your smart work, your level to comprehend and understand things from different angles without sentiment, without bias. And to crown it all, your level of peace, love, and unity. This is the point and the main insight between these two countries, Nigeria and Ghana, amongst so many other West African countries. And that is why I think it is high time we come out to talk more and address what is more common, what is more binding, and what especially has brought Nigeria and Ghana to where they are today, and more importantly, what do they really have in common? Do Nigerians and Ghanaians and most other West African countries really need each other? But I'm going to streamline it and specify it to Nigeria and Ghana. Lest you forget, if I want to look at it critically, Nigeria and Ghana are like siblings. They have come a long way. When you look at back then, where our leaders who fought for the independence, who fought for the success of these countries are coming from, you will know that there was a lot of work, teamwork, there was a lot of understanding, there was a lot of cooperation, unity amongst them that led them or helped them achieve these two countries individually, Nigeria and Ghana. We're not going to go down history, but do your research and you will know, or watch some of my previous video, you will know where and how Nigeria and Ghana has come to be where they are today, right there in the map of West Africa and Africa to the world. But before I draw our attention to what Nigeria and Ghana has in common and why I think Nigeria, from my own point of view and opinion, still needs each other solely to survive, to succeed, to thrive, and to excel, and more importantly, to bring West Africa to the map of the world and in the continent at large. I will start by saying this: there is no home that is complete without rivalry. There are no siblings that live and exist without siblings rivalry, without conflict, misunderstanding, and issues. And that is why consistently or constantly we see Nigeria and Ghana always having their issues, their differences, and what have you. But regardless of that, it cannot stop us to understand and accept the fact that we are siblings. When we disagree to agree. But there are things that will definitely keep us inseparable, and these are the things I will point out in this video. So stay glued and go nowhere. But if you're yet to like this video, kindly hit on the like button, share this video, because the information I'm dishing out here are very useful and important that will help not just you, your relatives who are ignorant and unaware, and even our present generations and generations to come. So share this video, like this video, and to add to that, please, I have just graduated to some extent of monetization here on YouTube, not fully monetized, and I want to share this with you to say thank you for your constant love and support. You can appreciate my effort by giving me thanks through the thanks button there, or join my membership group, because I want to build strong community. I want us to build strong community, not just with me alone, but with you and I, of like mind, of the same prospects, the same goal and ambition, at the end of the day with one common aim and achievement of a successful country and changing the wrongs and the bad leaderships in these individual countries. So I want you all, if you are interested in this community, to tap on the join button to join my community. I am just starting off. I want you to be among the first set of people to be part of this community that will come out with one voice and one mind and speak up to the betterment of our individual countries, right? Thank you so much, because I know that I have amazing people here from the Ghanaian country, from South Africa, from Nigeria, cut across the world, who would like to support me. Thank you so much for your constant support and understanding. So moving on, one thing that has actually kept Nigeria and Ghana in disarray and is actually a major problem between Nigeria and Ghana is what? Racism, tribalism, and so many other factors, right? Especially the one that I don't want to call it here, that the South Africans are practicing currently on Nigerians. I want to quickly touch on what the South Africans are actually doing or have been doing to Nigerians, irrespective of the fact that no country is perfect. We are not perfect, and Nigeria has its own share when it comes to what their character and their wrongdoings. I would say it is not in anybody's right, not in any Africa or West African country's power to unalive his or her fellow African. It is the height of what? Man's inhumanity to man. And I will ask and call on the leaders, on the government of South Africa, to try as much as they can to please bring their mind to book, bring their conscience to book, to try to handle what is going on there between Nigerians and the South Africans, because it is becoming something else. And if it is not addressed and properly handled, it might lead to something that will be very dangerous and drastic in West Africa. That is why I really want to commend Ghanaians, because at the end of the day, their level of understanding, reasoning is top notch, and irrespective of what they pass through in the hands of Nigeria negatively, they still try to, put that level of understanding, tolerance to a good extent, right? But comparing it to South Africa, I would say it is a huge problem that needs to be addressed. I mean, the continent of Africa needs to address it squarely. While we watch and see what the leaders of the South Africa comes up with, we will not be left out to also touch on these other aspects binding between Nigeria and Ghana. And here we go. And knowing fully well that in Ghana, when it comes to politics, they likely have their own share of what? Tribalism, discrimination, and segregation. It is like that also in Nigeria. When it comes to the time of election in almost all the West African countries or countries in the world, all over the world, there tends to be tribalism, there tends to be racism, all for some particular interest, like political interest, like selfish interest, like trying to defend one tribe from the other. We see this thing happen mostly here in Nigeria. Let me speak of Nigeria, because when we talk about ethnicity and different states, geopolitical zones, and culture, when it comes to tribalism, it is highly practiced here in Nigeria. Tribalism is one thing that has affected the leadership, the progress, and the growth of Nigeria badly, making it get to that point where the leadership of Nigeria is being affected because this tribe wants their person to be there, these other tribes want their person to be there, and not for the common goal of checkmating if that person is actually the right person to actually assume that position. I mean the right person in the sense that this person has all it takes to deliver the nation, to deliver the country, to look at the needs of the common citizens, to look at the problem of the country from the grassroots to the top. This is what we classify as being or having the right person in position and leadership. So tribalism, racism is something that has affected these two countries when you want to look at it from that angle. Now let's look at what we can really say of a truth that Nigeria has in common with Ghana and why they should stick together for growth and for success, and at the end of the day to do better. Now, do you know that Ghana and Nigeria are one of the most resourceful countries in West Africa that was craftily created by the British colonials? It will also interest you that these two countries have relatively a very massive, large population, number of citizens of nearly over 200 million, making them the highest populated countries in West Africa. Now you can understand where we're coming from. And also, when it comes to education, these two countries have fairly good educational system, with Ghana educational system topping the list, making them the best educational system, well crafted, well strategized and structured in the whole of West Africa. And as well, you can say Nigeria is fair in the sense that if not that, the bad leadership and the fact that different states affects the success of education in the country Nigeria, we can say Nigeria would have been far better than what it is today when it comes to education. Now you see that education is one thing that these two countries hold on a very high esteem. To also add the fact that both Ghana and Nigeria are resource-rich countries, blessed with oil and gas, blessed with gold, blessed with diamond, rubber, granules, cocoa, coffee, tea, and amongst so many other natural resources that God endowed these two countries with. When you want to look at it critically, when you want to look at it the way it is, you will know that for sure and of a truth, Nigeria and Ghana is indeed blessed. And not just blessed, both countries are likened with a very fertile ground where things like crops and other agricultural produce grow swiftly without any hitch, without any stress. Whatever you plant in the land of Ghana and Nigeria does extremely well and better. Now you people can begin to understand and see why most West African countries are so envious and jealous of Nigeria. And it hurts me so much to see that we don't even know whom we are in the position of West Africa. If we really know whom we are, if you know whom you are as a Nigerian, as a Ghanaian, and as well any other country in West Africa, if you know your identity, your root and your source, you will be proud of whom you are, and you will know that it is not just West Africans against each other, but it should be West Africa as one formidable force against the continent, or competing with the continent and competing with the whole world at large. Now you see that we are even blindfolded not to see and identify that this is whom we are and this is what we represent. And that is why we should not be against ourselves, but coming together as a team. Looking at the fact also that Nigeria and Ghana have the same social, cultural, and linguistic zone and are closely related with having a long history of what? Intermingling. They intermingle. They are friendly, like they are very comfortable and free within themselves whenever they come together. That is why you see most Nigerians running to Ghana, because they feel safe and comfortable there. And in other words, the Ghanaians in Nigeria as well, even though they are not much, are also comfortable. And we as Nigerians most times see Ghanaians as part and parcel of us, regardless of the rivalry. Forget about all the rivalry and all the online shades and what have you. We are siblings. These things are bound to happen. Do you understand? And this long history of intermingling has really helped in the history and culture of Nigerians back in the days, marrying or intermarrying each other. Despite the fact that Nigerians are close neighbors to Cameroon, we see that Nigerians are not really comfortable or cannot really be comfortable the way they are in Ghana compared to other West African countries. So that is to tell you that we have a bond and we have a tide. Judging from where our our past leaders are coming from. Never forget this. The history of intermingling as well has led to marriages back then and even presently. We can cite that in recent times, seeing our celebrities, seeing our Nigerians, men, women, longing to build relationship like marriage, relationship like business together. Taking, for instance, the recent marriage between Moses Bliss and his wife from Ghana, right? This is a good sign that Nigerians and Ghanaians should incorporate into the system, because at the end of the day, we see that even the resources we have together, it will help in bringing and uniting us closely and together. And also when you look at how the mineral resources are exported and imported between Nigeria and Ghana, you will know that it is like, you give me this, I give you this. We need this, I need that, and we are giving each other what we have. This person giving this person what you lack, and this person giving this person what you lack. At the end of the day, will help in solidifying the growth, the success of these two countries. And this is a point that most people don't see. And the economy of these two countries have really brought them to the limelight, where these two countries are being seen as the powerhouse of West Africa along Ivory Coast. Can you imagine? And this is what most Western countries have seen in Nigeria and Ghana, that is actually attracting them into the country today. Not for any reason. Because if at the end of the day we don't have these things, we don't have these blessings, these resources that God has endowed us with, I don't think some of these Western countries will see or find anything useful in us. But aside that, it will also interest you to know that our intelligence, our educational quest and zest has really showcased us as Nigerians and Ghanaians to the world at large, to show that we are not just populated, but we are populated as the most competent and entrepreneurial populated citizens of our various countries. Now it is beginning to, tell on you that there is a lot going on behind the scene that we don't even know and we don't even understand. And we are allowing discrimination, we are allowing racism, we are allowing tribalism, blindfold us from all these things. And that's why when you go to the Western world, you see Ghanaians pulling up weight when it comes to, education, when it comes to entrepreneurship, when it comes to creativity. You see Nigerians out there all cut across the world, making us proud by the day. I mean, the good representatives of these various countries, making us proud that whatever they come out to do, whatever they set out to do, they come out with distinguished flying colors. And at the end of the day, other West African countries will begin to see the beauty in us, will begin to see the gifts, they begin to see the potential in us as West Africans, coming from Nigeria and Ghana, and particularly some other West African countries who are really trying their best. So if you're listening to me, I don't know the country you're representing as a West African, as a black man, represent your country for the best and good reasons. Nevertheless, because at the end of the day, it is not West Africans, and it should not be West Africans against themselves, but together against the world. I repeat. So next time when you see or when you come across Nigerians, Ghanaians, fighting, disabusing, disrespecting each other, there is one common thing that should come to your mind. Having listened to me, heard my voice, and understood what I have said here, every bit of what I have said, you should have this in mind at every given point in time, to know that we are one. Whether you like it or you don't like it, let's put history aside, let's put our pain and our hurt aside. We are one, and we should be one. One West African country, one Nigeria, one Ghana, coming together to unite. Because let me tell you the gospel truth, without Nigeria, Ghana will have a problem. Without Ghana, Nigeria will have a problem. Without some other West African countries, Ghana and Nigeria cannot completely succeed and thrive. So we need each other. We should see it that it is not we against ourselves, killing ourselves, hurting ourselves, pulling ourselves down, but we against the world. But one thing that we all should try as much as we can, irrespective of the nation, the country we come from, as West African citizens, try as much as you can to be a good compatriot, a good ambassador of your country. Because if we want to make our name and maintain our name there in the map, it depends on you, it depends on how we carry ourselves, how we behave, how we react to things, and how we compose ourselves, especially outside the shores of our country. Because at the end of the day, this is what will give us the direction, this is what will give us the purpose and the focus we need to achieve our goals as individual countries, coming together as Nigeria, as Ghana, as Kenya, as South Africa. And to wrap it all, I would say, whatever it is that is any form of bias, that is any form of tribalism, that is any form of racism amongst us as blacks, as Africans, as West Africans, should be totally stopped and abolished, because these are our problems and our limitation. It should be totally cancelled from this day henceforth, so that we will not be seeing ourselves as our problem, but seeing the good in us, seeing the potentials in us to be harnessed, to be developed, encouraged, and making it as a point of duty that we stand in for each other, to love, to support each other, to unite together as one, to support each other, especially as Nigerians to Nigeria, Ghanaians to Ghanaians, South Africans to South Africans, and Kenyans to Kenyans. Name them as many as we are in the map of West Africa. I think with this, we have come to a common understanding, and if you're not satisfied, you have anything that is bothering you or you're displeased with, kindly leave them as well in the comment section. I will oblige to them and respond to them right there in the comment section. And yes, with this, I would say we've come to the end of this episode, and if you have patiently listened up till now, I want to really appreciate your patience. Thank you so much, and God bless you. But if this is your first time as well seeing this face or coming across this channel, hi, this is Chivik Inspirations, and here in Chivik Inspirations, we say things, we analyze things, we react to things, life happening, life events, things about politics, our country, particularly Nigeria, Ghana, and other West African countries, to inspire, to motivate, captivate not just your soul, but your spirit and your body. So you see, you can't get it as a dull moment right here in Chivik Inspiration. You can kindly join this family as you hit on that subscribe button first, turn on the post notification bell next to it. And if you're pleased with what you have listened to today, support this channel by saying thank you with the super thanks button, and join my community, a community of people with like minds and good prospects to build their nation with a common goal of what? Showcasing our country in the map of West Africa and Africa to the world. So join my community on that join button, because this is the newest milestone we have hit, and I am proud to let you know that this is where we are. It is not by my making, but your support, your unwavering love and support. Thank you so much for your constant love and support. I truly and deeply appreciate each and every one of you, and I want to say I sincerely love you from the depth of my heart, and I'm here to give you nothing but the best and stand for nothing but the truth. So help me God, and so help us God. Thank you so much once again. Remember, you owe yourself nothing but your peace of mind and your sanity, and always stay happy out there and safe till I come up here on this space. But for now, this is me, Chivik Inspiration, signing out. I will see you in my next episode. Bye guys.